In New York City, Eddie is at a repair shop, desperately trying to get his van back. He even offers all his rent money, but it's still not enough to cover the bill. Just then, his phone buzzes. It's his daughter, Sarah, but he ignores the call, too busy arguing with the mechanic. Eddie pleads, explaining he needs the van for deliveries and to pick up his daughter, but the mechanic couldn't care less. Moments later, Eddie's ex calls, furious. She yells at him for not picking up Sarah, who's still waiting at school. She reminds him, yet again, that he never puts his daughter first, then hangs up, leaving Eddie stewing in guilt and frustration. Pushed to desperation, Eddie spots an employee's wallet left carelessly on a table. He provokes the man until he's shoved against the table, giving him the perfect chance to swipe the wallet without anyone noticing. Outside, Eddie checks the wallet, barely any cash inside. Annoyed but determined, he heads to the main avenue, scanning for any easy targets. Nothing. No unattended bags, no loose pockets. He starts yanking on car door handles, praying for one to be unlocked. No luck. One car has a barking dog that scares him, but instead of running, Eddie softens, offering the dog some water and earning a wag of approval. He tries calling old friends for help, but nobody picks up, or they all say no. He even wastes money on lottery tickets, hoping for a miracle, but comes up empty. When Sarah calls again, Eddie finally answers. She scolds him for abandoning her, but still tells him she loves him before hanging up a bittersweet punch to the gut. Wondering, Eddie spots a sleek, expensive SUV parked alone in a remote lot. He checks the door. Miraculously, it's unlocked. Slipping inside, he searches frantically for valuables, but only finds a pair of sunglasses. When someone walks past, he ducks down, hiding his face. With nothing worth stealing, Eddie prepares to slip out, but the door suddenly locks itself. Panicked, he tries the other doors. Nothing. He kicks and punches the windows, but they don't even crack. Another pedestrian walks by, forcing Eddie to hide again, heart pounding. Suddenly, a tablet mounted on the dashboard starts ringing. The caller ID reads, "Answer me." Eddie ignores it, too focused on finding a way out, unaware of the hidden camera watching his every move. He eventually finds a lug wrench tucked in a compartment and swings it at the window. No use. In frustration, he smashes the panel on the door and jams his hand inside, slicing himself on sharp metal. The tablet rings again. Eddie keeps working, desperately yanking at the broken panel, but the door stays firmly locked. He tries his phone, no signal. Running out of options, Eddie finally answers the tablet. On the screen appears William, the car's owner. Eddie curses at him and demands to be let out. William just laughs, and with the push of a button, he sends an electric shock through the seats, tasering Eddie in place. William calmly explains that his car has been broken into 6 times without a single arrest, so he installed a custom security system, one that turns the vehicle into a prison. Panicking, Eddie pulls a gun from his bag and fires at the window. The bullet bounces off the bulletproof glass and ricochets straight into his leg, leaving him screaming and bleeding heavily. Just then, a woman parks nearby. Eddie frantically bangs on the window, trying to get her attention, but the SUV's tinted, soundproof glass hides him completely. She simply uses the car's reflection to fix her hair, then drives off without a second glance. Eddie's leg is bleeding badly. William coldly refuses to call an ambulance, claiming he's a doctor and can handle it himself. Eddie tries his phone again, but William explains the car jams all signals. There's no way to call for help. Desperate, Eddie uses his shoelaces to tie a makeshift tourniquet, but it's not enough to stop the bleeding. Every time he curses, William responds by electrocuting him through the seats. The combined blood loss and shocks eventually knock Eddie unconscious. When he wakes up, it's nighttime. Rain pelts the SUV's roof. Eddie's leg and arm are crudely bandaged. Checking his bag, he finds his water bottle and snacks have mysteriously disappeared. The next morning, William calls again, trying to ramble about his life. Eddie, frustrated and weak, snaps at him, earning another taser blast for his trouble. William then cranks the air conditioning to freezing levels and starts blasting yodeling music. At first, Eddie plays tough, claiming the song isn't so bad, but after hours of it on repeat, it drives him insane. Shivering that night, He rips off the seat covers and wraps them around himself like a blanket. When William calls again, Eddie offers a genuine apology, promising no more attitude. Without saying a word, William turns off the AC, but he still refuses to let Eddie go. The next morning, desperate and filthy, Eddie pees into the empty water bottle. Then he tears apart parts of the SUV, clawing and smashing, desperate for an escape. Nothing works. William calls back, mocking him, just as Eddie notices someone standing on a nearby balcony, watching the parking lot. Eddie tries calling out, but gets cocky and sassy, which earns him another jolt from the seat. Undeterred, Eddie warns William that if he lets him die, it'll only come back to haunt him. Eddie insists he's not a killer, the gun was just for protection. But William doesn't care. He calls the cops useless morons and says he's not worried about getting caught. Then William drops a bombshell. He has cancer. 4 months to live. That's why he's doing this, to leave some kind of mark. To bring justice in a world where, according to him, no one else will. William demands Eddie's social security number to run his record. If it's his first offense, William promises to be gentler. But if Eddie has a criminal past, he'll cut off his fingers just like he claims they do to thieves in other countries. Eddie refuses to give William his social security number, firing back that people steal because the system has failed them, that rich men like William hoard all the wealth while the rest are left scrambling for scraps. Offended, William tases him again, then cuts the call and restarts the torturous music. As evening falls, the temperature inside the SUV begins to soar, sweat pouring. Eddie strips down to survive the heat. Staring out at the rain, he feels like it's mocking him. Desperation claws at him so hard, he even considers drinking his own urine, but he can't bring himself to do it. Not yet. Later, William calls again, offering a deal, give up the social security number, and in return, he'll get water and a normal temperature. Broken and dehydrated, Eddie gives in. He rattles off the number. True to his word, William turns off the heat and reveals that he'd hidden a water bottle under the seat back when he patched up Eddie's wounds. Eddie snatches the bottle and downs it in one greedy gulp. Trying to get some rest, Eddie shifts around and feels something in his jacket pocket. The lottery tickets? He scratches off the last one and lets out a broken laugh when he realizes he's won exactly the amount of money he needed. William calls, hearing the laughter, and demands to know what's going on. Eddie, overwhelmed, pleads for food and gives a heartfelt apology for everything he's done. Moved by the speech, William decides Eddie isn't a total monster and opens the glove compartment remotely, revealing a snack hidden inside. Eddie grabs it immediately, and just before the compartment closes, spots something, a switch tucked inside. Before Eddie can react, William gets another call. He hangs up, but Eddie can hear the conversation bleeding through the SUV's speakers enough to confirm William really is a doctor. After a few moments, William says he has to go. Eddie watches the figure on the balcony move away, his captor leaving. Taking the chance, Eddie flips off the security camera. No response. He's alone. Immediately, Eddie smashes open the glove compartment and takes a photo of the circuitry hidden behind it, studying it carefully. He jams his arm inside, groping for the switch, but a shard of metal snaps his nail painfully. When he tries again, the seats come alive, tasing him. William had returned, catching him in the act. The next day, Eddie changes tactics. He lounges across the front seats, pretending to rest, but secretly, he snakes his foot into the glove compartment, inching closer to the switch. Another day drags by. Eddie's body is breaking down. With no other choice, he drinks his own urine to survive. That night, foot cramping, body trembling, Eddie finally brushes the switch and clicks it. The SUV roars to life. He leaps into the driver's seat and floors the gas, careening down the road. Freedom, but the victory is short-lived. The car cuts out and dies after just a few minutes. William calls, laughing coldly, and then the SUV lurches forward again. William is controlling it remotely now, dragging Eddie into the next phase of his twisted game.